What's going on YouTube? I hope you guys are doing well today. I just wanted to give you guys sort of a personal update about my current situation and Overwatch and my opinions on the state of things in the game as they sit right now on January 10th, 2021, which, by the way, means Overwatch has been out since 2016. Now, I'm not saying it's been out for 5 years exactly. You know, I don't really know exactly when its birthday was, but just for a figure of speech, it has been out for 5 years now. I believe it released in 2016, and we are now in 2021. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I have felt my motivation to grind Overwatch in order to put as much time in as I should in order to improve. It has waned a little bit, to be honest with you. I do feel like heroes like Sigma and Hammond are partly to blame for this. And people I hear talk all the time about, you know, Brig or Moira or trash teammates or whatnot, throwers, saying that it's the reason that they don't play Overwatch as much as they used to. And I think those things are definitely factors, but one thing I really don't hear people mention that much is just the age of the game itself. People often say that Overwatch is repetitive or that it feels stale at times, and that kind of makes sense when you think about how long this game has actually been out. Now, I still love to play Hitscan. It gives me a dopamine boost or a dopamine hit that I haven't been able to find in really any other game. You know, playing Soldier 76 when you're just having one of those crack days where you're hitting every shot is an amazing feeling. It's one of the most satisfying feelings I've ever had in video games. Same thing for McCree or Ashe, Tracer, whatnot. Everybody has their own thing that they love in Overwatch, and I love tracking. I love getting crit headshots and playing Hitscan. But the game's been out for a long time, and I've been playing Hitscan for a long time. So doing that repetitively, and then not only that, also doing it into Sigma so often, he has become such a strong hero that he is getting picked in like almost every other game, it seems like. And especially if the game doesn't start with a Sigma on the other team, if you start popping off on Hitscan, you can almost be certain that the other team is going to select a Sigma. Now, him alone is not really an issue. You know, they nerfed his shield, and I think there might be a pending nerf on him right now, which will make Hitscan very strong, I anticipate. Because Hitscan in its current state on January 10th, 2021 is still pretty good right now. I couldn't imagine how strong Hitscan will be if the Sigma nerf that's currently on the experimental playlist would actually go through. Hitscan would be crazy good. Now, I don't know if that would indirectly make Widow and Hanzo really good, because I know they're also experimenting with a Hanzo buff. And if Hitscan is good, and then if Hanzo gets a buff, it doesn't really seem that unreasonable to anticipate that there would be a Widow Hanzo meta, especially with the shield nerfs and whatnot. Hanzo can shred shields with Stormbow. He can get picks. He can easily outduel Hitscan, one shot to the head, whatnot. Most of you probably know my thoughts about Hanzo. So the big issue with Overwatch and why I have felt a lack of motivation to grind it as much as I used to is, and I know I said it's not always about one hero, but Hammond, ever since that hero came out, I cannot stand that hero. I would rather play against Double Shield. He is probably my least favorite hero to play against in the history of Overwatch. I am not even joking. I cannot think of a more frustrating hero to play against. Even when Brig was insanely overpowered, I never found her to be as annoying as a Hammond. There is just something about getting booped into the air, stun locked, and then having to shoot shields, which don't even give you ult charge, and just having him roll away from you. Or, for example, you'll see a Hammond try and set up some sort of engagement. You know, he grapples some area on high ground, and he messes up his approach. So then he redoes his approach. This is in front of you, by the way. This is in front of you, and you're shooting him. And then he comes back in, slams you, presses E, gains like what feels like 1,000,000 HP. And just seeing that on your screen, someone unable to execute something correctly, and then still come in right in your face, right in front of you, just full mask off, and then live, and then not give you ult charge, and then knock you away, knock your aimer off your target, stun you into the air, and then roll away. For me personally, and I don't know if everybody feels this way, I want to quit right there when that happens to me. There's nothing more frustrating than having a Hammond just completely dominate the game. Like, I always thought it was stupid, just philosophically, the design decision on a big picture level that he would exist. I always said as a joke, this was back in like season 5, I always said as a joke that Blizzard's next hero is going to be a big blob that sits on you and it just takes you out of the fight. You don't even have to aim. I said that as a joke, and then they came out with Hammond. Now, I'm not saying he's a blob that sits on you, but I mean, it's pretty much as close as you're gonna get while actually still being a serious video game. I find it incredibly frustrating to play against, and then that in combination with not being able to play hit scan, or I shouldn't say not being able to play hit scan because it's pretty good, but not wanting to play hit scan because I want to feel that feeling of improving, which is why there's Zenyatta gameplay in the background of this. I have made a new account. The account name is called Sound of Rain, and it's a Zen main one-trick account. I'm trying to get it to GM because I have made top 500 on DPS many times and on tank many times. I was even a Roadhog one-trick top 500 back when top 500 actually meant something and it wasn't just top 2,000, you know, because they split it up into 3 roles, including open queue. So now at the end of every season, they're giving 2,000 players a top 500 icon. That's silly to me. And back before the system worked that way, I was a top 500 Roadhog one trick, you know, top 500 Zarya, top 500 DPS, whatever, hit scan player. Back when it meant something. The only role that I never made top 500 with, actually maining every game, was support. So I would like to try and get top 500 on support. And my favorite support is Zen. I can also play Ana, but I love to play Zen. And Zen's in a pretty good place right now. So I've been playing a shit ton of Zen on stream. Pretty much all my stream is Zenyatta lately. And I've been having a ton of fun with them. Discord is insanely overpowered. So I'm going to try and get support on, top 500 on support, mainly Zenyatta, just to, officially make top 500 on every role, you know. I should be able to do it. I'm not so certain yet. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on and why you might see more Zen gameplay in the future.